This is what happened when my Dratini evolved. A hurricane formed over my neighborhood. Emergency sirens, evacuations, news helicopters. I underestimated how powerful a baby Dratini could become. Because this turns into this. The city was destroyed. And by the end of this story, I was in handcuffs. But right now, it's not a dragon yet. It's not even a Pokémon. It's just an egg. A cold, wet egg that shouldn't exist. Because this egg is sweating, and I have no idea what's going to hatch. Most Pokémon eggs are warm, cozy, safe. This one? Ice cold, like it came from the bottom of the ocean. And every few seconds, a drop of water forms on the shell and slides down. Not condensation, not room humidity. The egg itself is making water. I touched it. My hand came back wet. No cracks, no leaks. That's when it hit me. Whatever is inside this egg doesn't follow normal rules. A few hours later, the shell didn't crack slowly. It snapped, all at once, and a baby Dratini slid into my hands. He's tiny, 6 inches, bright blue body, white belly, big, innocent eyes. He looked harmless, like a bath toy. He even tried to bite my thumb and failed. Then he opened his eyes, and the air changed. Thick, heavy, like I was breathing underwater. I checked the humidity meter. 68%. It was 42% 5 minutes ago. Dratini wasn't just wet. He was turning the air around him into water, and he was only 10 minutes old. After a few minutes, he curled into a spiral and fell asleep in my hands, which meant I had a window. Because if he grows the way I think he will, he's not living in a fish tank. He's not surviving in a bedroom. So I built a habitat, fast. I sealed the room and taped plastic around the outlet area, just in case. Dratini needs moisture balance to survive. Too dry, he gets weak, his skin cracks. Too wet, he loses energy and can't breathe. So I made 2 zones, a deep, clear water pool, smooth rocks, slow current, a place where he can swim, rest, and absorb moisture straight through his skin, and a warm mist zone, live plants, moss walls, and sprayers every 30 seconds. A foggy riverside, indoors, water and mist, ocean and sky. I placed the sleeping Dratini into the pool. He woke up instantly. For the first time, he looked calm. He swam small loops, explored corners. Then he lifted his head above the water and exhaled. A small cloud formed. Not steam. Fog. Real fog. The entire room felt heavier. That wasn't humidity. That was weather. Then it was time to feed him. I tried fish. Berries. Seaweed. But he loved sweet fruit and mineral jelly cubes. And right after eating, he turned hyper. Fast laps, jumping, sliding onto the mist zone, then diving back in. And every time he got excited, the mist got thicker. Not from the sprayers, from him. I watched the humidity climb. 74%, 78%, 82%. That's when the fear landed. If a newborn can raise humidity by 40%, what happens when he grows? What happens when he evolves? What happens when he gets angry? Outside, clear skies. Inside this room, it felt like a storm was waiting to happen. And that was the first time I realized I wasn't raising a pet. I was raising weather. Everything was normal, until the night the storm came inside the house. At first it was just mist, too thick. The glass walls were dripping, the air was heavy, the humidity meter was maxed out. But the humidifiers were off. Dratini floated in the center of the pool, eyes closed, and the water around him was spinning, slowly, like a tiny whirlpool forming around his body. Then the first drop fell from the ceiling. I froze. Another drop, then another. Rain, inside the room. Within seconds, water ran down the walls, soaking the floor. I checked the weather app. Clear skies. Outside, dry. But inside this room, a storm was forming. The lights flickered. And then, thunder. Not outside. Inside my house. A deep crack that shook the windows. Dratini's eyes snapped open. He looked terrified, like he didn't understand what he was doing. The whirlpool got stronger. Water splashed out. The room started flooding. The floor was literally turning into a puddle. And then I realized, Dratini wasn't reacting to weather. He was creating it, and he had no idea how to stop. The water crept toward the outlets. If electricity touched that water, this wasn't a pet problem anymore. This was a disaster. I grabbed Dratini out of the tank. The moment I lifted him, silence. Wind stopped. Dratini wrapped around my arm, shaking, like a scared child after a nightmare. The storm was gone, just puddles everywhere. Water was still dripping from the ceiling. The room still smelled like rain. And that's when I finally accepted the truth. He was getting too powerful for indoor life. So I moved him outside, a backyard enclosure, reinforced fencing, a deep swimming pool, open sky above, no roof, no walls, no limits. For the first time, Dratini was going to meet the sky. The pool. The moment I lowered him into the outdoor pool, the moment his body touched natural sunlight, he froze. Not scared, not confused, still, like something ancient inside him just woke up. He slowly lifted his head, and for the first time in his life, he saw the sky. No glass, no ceiling, just endless blue. Dratini floated upward slightly, like the air suddenly mattered. He closed his eyes, and the entire street went silent. Birds stopped chirping, leaves stopped moving. Even the wind disappeared. Then, clouds began to form. One cloud, dark, heavy, directly above my backyard. And rain began to fall. Soft. My phone buzzed. A message from my neighbor. Bro, why is it raining only on your house? People came outside, pointing, recording. And in the center of it all, Dratini floated peacefully, calm, in control. And then, he started glowing. The rain lifted into the air. The pool water began rising. Clouds spun above the yard. Wind started circling the enclosure. Dratini curled into a glowing spiral mid-air. The glow grew brighter and brighter until the entire backyard turned white. A low roar rolled through the sky. The light exploded outward, and, hovering above the pool, was Dragonair. Long, elegant, serene. The rain didn't stop. It obeyed. That's when I realized. Dratini survives the environment. Dragonair chooses the environment. But Dragonair isn't the final stage. One day, this peaceful storm controller becomes Dragonite. And when that day comes, it won't just rain on my house. It might rain on the whole city. Weeks passed. Dragonair stopped training. He started preparing. Every storm lasted longer. Every cloud grew larger, like the sky itself was getting used to him. Until the day the sky broke. Weeks after moving outside, Dragonair stopped responding. Wouldn't eat, wouldn't play, just floated there, staring at the sky, waiting. Then they came. Government vans, men in suits, radiation detectors, a colonel at my door.
We're authorized to relocate it.
I said no.
It wasn't a request.
3 a.m. Metal tearing. I ran outside. 6 soldiers, nets, tranquilizer guns. Dragonair cornered, shaking. One soldier fired. The dart hit. Everything shattered. The sky went black. Not night, void. Hurricane winds, trees ripped out, soldiers thrown like paper. I screamed his name. His eyes glowed white, pure rage. Lightning struck, over and over. Soldiers retreated. Dragonair began to glow, not peaceful, violent. His body twisted, grew larger, wings tearing through the rain. He roared. Light exploded like a bomb. Windows shattered for blocks. When the light faded, Dragonite, massive, towering, wings spread across the storm. His eyes locked on the soldiers. The storm didn't stop. It got worse. And then, his chest ignited, a deep glow inside his throat. He opened his mouth, and fire burst into the storm. Lightning and flames together, wind and fire colliding in the sky. The city fell. Hail like baseballs, tornadoes tearing through streets. Seek shelter, life-threatening. Vehicles flipped. Soldiers swept away. Buildings collapsing. Jets scrambled. Too late. He was unstoppable. I ran toward the storm, screaming his name. He turned. For a moment, I saw the scared Dratini again. Please, stop. But he didn't. Eyes pure white, lost in the storm. Winds hit 200 miles per hour. Cars launched. Power lines exploded. The city was being erased. My voice was nothing against the storm. Then, Dragonite spread his wings, shot into the sky. The storm followed him. Within minutes, gone. Silence. Ruins. Blocks leveled. Billions in damage. I stood there, covered in dust and rain. Then I heard boots behind me. 6 officers, military.
You're under arrest!
For what?
Mass destruction! Harboring a bioweapon!
Handcuffs clicked. Cold metal. Cold faces. They didn't care he was scared. They cared that I didn't obey. 5 years. Federal prison.